Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to HJ Goes Live. I'm Charlotte, editor of Hairdressers Journal, and today's session is called 3 Steps to Boosting Your Hairdressing Career, and it's supported by Wella Professionals. We're joined by the lovely Sharon Cox, who is Sanrizz Educational Director, and she's going to be talking about career boosters and Wella Studio courses. So
thank you, Charlotte.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, everyone.
There's lots of ways that you can get on Wella Studio courses. For example, the advanced cutting course is currently available with Leonardo Rizzo from Sanrizz, and there's lots of other inspirational guest artists too. And the next course is available with Leonardo at the Wella Studio in London on Monday, the 15th of November. So below us, if you're watching on Facebook, in the comments section, you'll get some more info about how long the course is. It's 1 day, and the fact that it costs £310 plus VAT, and details of how to book the studio. You can call 0203 650 4700, or you can email wellastudiolondon at wella.com. Sharon, hi.
Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here.
The salon looks so tidy. I was admiring it.
This is our academy. Yeah, this is just one room in our main academy where we have our students working. So the next room's a shoot. You can't see it, but I think you've got a good view at the back.
Definitely, and all the beautiful images behind you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to kick us off with the first step in boosting your hairdressing career, which is all about the courses that are available at Wella Studio? So please do tell us more.
Yeah, so I mean, Sanrizz are very lucky to be ambassadors for Wella. We work with cutting and colouring in their academy. We've been doing it for many, many years. So it's a wonderful platform for us to share our expertise in what we do as education, but it's also great for people that want to link to knowing new collections and new ideas with different brands. So I think the fact that Wella hosts these and allow us to really show our expertise and give them a taste of what our brands are about is really great. So yeah, I mean, we've been to Manchester over the years. The old London Academy, which was one of my favourite, the new London Academy, to Dublin, you know, globally. So yeah, I think it's nice to outline what people would expect from a day with Sanrizz at the Wella Studio. So we normally crack on with doing demonstrations. So usually Leonardo and I, and Rudy Rizzo as well, he's involved with them. We normally demo first of all in the morning. So we usually have about 2 models. We demo our latest collections. We have a little bit of interaction with videos showing a little bit about philosophy, techniques, and then we move it into new collections. And then we focus on our technique, not only in cutting, but sometimes, you know, if we're doing colouring, we focus on colour. And most importantly is really to get that total look of how to finish hair. So you sort of cover all aspects, which is great. But the specific one in November is advanced cutting. I do quite a lot of colour for Wella as well, because I teach cutting and colouring. Yeah, and we take them through the steps in the morning of demonstrations of new collections. So if it's an advanced cutting course, it may be what we're doing at the moment, which is moving into a lot of what we call dual lengths, where we're working with disconnections. So a lot of people don't really understand how to pull those lengths together. So we would show that in demonstrations. And then in the afternoon, everybody gets to do a live model. And then usually what we do, which is really lovely, for anybody that's trying to improve their skill, we get them to present back to each other. So it's a little bit nervy, but I think it's a great platform to look at the educational value, but also for their personal growth. So I think it's a great collaboration between Sanrizz and Wella and all of the guest artists that work alongside Wella.
And this is all face-to-face education.
Face-to-face education.
And just sing the benefits and sing the praises of face-to-face education, because everything you're saying now, I'm like, you don't get that benefit over Zoom, do you? You don't, the presentation in front of other people, the hands-on experience.
Yeah. So I've been educating for many years for Sanrizz, and through you know, we did live in person, obviously before the lockdown, and then we've done a lot of online education. The first thing I did was set up daily education for our brand, so that we were doing, and we kept the community together through lockdown. But I think going back now, the benefit of actual in-person is, number one, I think it's more motivational because you're energized together, because you're actually in a human kind sort of spirit. So energy-wise, I just feel that you get more value for what you're putting in that aspect. And I teach every day. So for me, it's really important to be able to put, even though it's no hands, help somebody guide their body position. Or it's about being there and showing them actually how to hold the scissors, because these basic things are lost a lot of time when you're training hairdressers. So, you know, you can't actually show somebody, you can show them on a screen, but actually you can guide them physically in a more aspect to give them that technique that they're going to need. And I think for me, I personally love education, and I love sharing the knowledge of Sanrizz. And I think I am a better educator personally live than I am online. It just feels more natural to me. And the benefit of the student is they're getting that personal touch, they're getting that one-to-one feeling. I think they're getting that really bespoke education, which Sanrizz is very recognised for.
Brilliant. Completely sold everyone on that. Sure, definitely.
Well, we're all hairdressers, you know, we're all people, aren't we? We love being with people. And I think that as part of the industry is part of what we want to show through as well. So I'm very excited that, you know, we're able to be back in education live.
Like I'm feeling your energy through Zoom, but I can imagine it's only the tip of the iceberg of what it is IRL.
Yeah, well, we're really excited because we've got our first, in August, I think it's August the 19th, we've got our first proper educational platform of a week's our foundational course. So we're really excited about that. So that, you know, it's my life, that's what I've done for many years. So for the last 18 months, you know, even though we've delivered education to the best of our needs, it feels like I'm going back to, you know, what I love. So it's very exciting.
Oh, brilliant. So now it might be a good time to introduce your model that you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I thought, because we're talking about education, for me, the most important thing is understanding the beginning, where we all sit as a foundation, because I know that I joined Sanrizz many years after being a hairdresser, and my foundation wasn't really very clear. So I felt it held me back. And now that's the one thing that I would share with any hairdresser. If they're wanting to improve their technique, to really look at their foundation, because the foundation can give strength. And I'm going to introduce you to Allure. So I think we're going to come back a little bit. Take a seat, Allure. So there we are. That's great. So you can see I've prepped Allure a little bit. Allure's hair is just that gorgeous hair that you can work very, very easily with. I'm going to be showing you something called a double cut. So you can see already I've prepped the hair. We've got a beautiful parallel one length that you'll see later on. And that's when I talk about foundation, about understanding how we create this beautiful solid line on an outline. And then what we've got, if I turn it to the side, we've got this lovely, what we call a double cut, how we've got this sort of like mullety sort of shape, but it's not too mullety yet because it's quite heavy. So we've got these dual lines where we've got this curved angle, and then we're dropping into length. So this is the sort of live that you would see when we're working at Wella, how we would work at Wella, how we would prep our models, exactly that. So if I turn her around, I've prepped the hair with Body Crafter, just a little bit on the root. This is very nice for me because it doesn't feel sticky in the hair. So I do a lot of dry cutting and I use Body Craft a lot. So I've got can you see in the screen there, a really beautiful, what we call in Sanrizz, a parallel one length, okay? So this is the foundation of any shape. So to create this length, you've got to have good technique. Yes, so we've just created this really beautiful parallel one length. And then what we're going to do, how we move a foundational shape. A lot of hairdressers say to me, how do I get more creative? Well, the foundation's there, but then how do we expose and create something else out of this shape? So what I start to do you can see I've got this curved edge. I'm going to start just to reduce some of the hair in the back, and we're going to start to expose head shape by using a technique in Sanrizz called Slice Neo Geo. So I'm going to cut, Charlotte, because you may want to ask questions as I work. So
yeah, that sounds like a plan. So I'd love to ask you some questions about entering competitions and awards and the importance of it. And also I hear that you scooped a rather impressive nomination at the moment. So tell us a little bit more about competitions and awards.
Yeah, so well, everybody likes a sense of achievement, and I think especially with social media now, it's very, very important to, you know, to get your name out there. That's the most important thing, I think. And for Sanrizz, you know, we're very lucky last year that we got Educators of the Year for the British Hairdressing Awards, and we're through to second this year. We're through to the second round this year as well, which is great.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, but you know, over the years, we've been very involved in one of, for me, the second most exciting show in the industry. I have to say, the first is the Alternative Hair Show, because it's obviously our show, Tony Rizzo's show. But the second to me to that is Trend Vision. Trend Vision is a really good platform, I think, for anybody that wants to get recognised, you know, creatively. It's a fun competition, and I think it's really a great way to show hairdressers that want to get their skill recognised out there.
Yeah, we rather excitingly, HJ got some exclusive access to the gold winners shoot, the collection that they've done.
Really?
And
oh, wow.
Yeah, hot off the press, it's going to be in our August issue, and it's going to be on the cover, the beautiful images that were shot on the day. And
oh, amazing.
I can tell you, I've been looking at them this afternoon. They are just so stunning, and you can't believe that this is people, you know, not at the beginning of their career, but they are, you know, coming up in the industry. They're not super established yet, and the standard of the work is incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. I think there's so many people that have come into our industry that have come in because they've won Trend Vision, and that's very, very key. I mean, I can only think about Rudy Rizzo. You know, he won for UK, and you know, I had the pleasure to go with Tony to Barcelona to the global final, and that year we had 5 people through to the semi-finals. So you know, it doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. I think what's really nice is that, you know, it's a great competition to be with. And I'm really lucky because I judge it every year. And yeah, this year, again, it just gets better and better. The quality of the imagery, everything is just so good.
It really is. And also, I know something we wanted to talk about as well on this live is mentorship. And that is a huge part of being a gold winner, and doing the collection sheet is the mentorship that you do get. But I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of having a great mentor and mentors to boosting your hairdressing career. So now might be a beautiful segue into that.
Yeah, I'm just going to interject, Charlotte, just to explain a little bit about what I'm doing before I talk about mentoring. So you can see what I'm doing here. Everything we do in Sanrizz is worked because we're working on a circular head shape. We're working diagonally in form with our sectioning pattern. And I'm using a little Sanrizz, what we call a finger sculptor, just to try and expose head shape. Because what I don't want to do is layer this and lose the feeling of it being a parallel one length. But I want to make it breathe. I want the haircut to be coming alive, and I want it to breathe. So what I do is there's 2 ways I can use this. I can either, I'm hoping you can see there, I can either run the whole of the finger sculptor down the hair, and I am working with it dry and it's absolutely fine. And then what this does is it just removes all of those edges. So I can use it, and then we can see that what happens is, can you see it just starts to loosen up the shape a little bit? Yeah. The other way I can use it is just to go down the hair, and I twist the section. And then I just go in individually as if I've got a pen and I'm going down the hair. So then I can just go in individually and just reduce all of that weight. So I'm not really changing what I'm doing. I'm just exposing a bit more organically that natural feeling within the hair. So yeah, sorry, I'm just getting carried away in my haircut there.
No, I'm mesmerized.
So mentoring, well, what can I say? I have had the absolute best mentors over many, many years in the industry. Not only have I been guided in education by Tony Rizzo, and he alone is a great mentor, but even working alongside people like Anthony Mascolo, all of the famous hairdressers that years ago I wanted to meet. When you work alongside those people, you're just getting so much. So I think that's really good. What happens with Trend Vision, you're mentored by great people, but when you're backstage, you're mixing with that energy of that high profile creativity. And I think if anybody can, in anything in life, to have a mentor is brilliant. I mean, I teach yoga now and I've got an amazing mentor. So in hairdressing, I've got an amazing mentor, but I think what they do is they give you guidance, and you're very strong in yourself, but you've got somebody else to have an opinion with. So especially when you get, that you're making your own collections, you're working creatively, you've got to either have an art team, and if you're on your own and you don't have that facility, then you need to try and get a mentor that will give you the guidance. I train a lot of people in our artistic team, and when we're creating new techniques, one of the things I said to him is, don't hold on to it, share it, expose it to what we're all thinking, because you holding on to something, thinking it's your own, is not going to develop. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to build. But when you share it creatively, then what happens is that technique becomes something bigger, 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 because you're mentoring each other. So for me, I think I love being part of a brand, because if I was on my own, I feel a bit lost. So if hairdressers are working alone, if they're with a smaller salon, get a mentor. I think social media, you can easily get mentors now as well, and just really connect with that person and be in as many places and say yes to everything. That, I think, is a really good way to be.
I really like your tip about not being selfish with your ideas, whether that is from a more junior position, or indeed mentors themselves, like encouraging people to become mentors and to give back to the industry. That's a really, really valid point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry, I'm not telling you how long, Charlotte, but when we started, it was a bit like, no, you keep it in, it's our thing. Yeah. But what happens now is, for the youth culture, for our younger people coming through to the industry and our own staff coming through, we need to share what our skill is. So that's the important thing of mentoring. You can see my haircut starting to breathe and coming alive a little bit.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. So I'm just softly, just loosening up. I mean, I cut Allura's hair about 6 weeks ago into this lovely double cut. But what I've said to her is, it just feels a bit heavy. So I just want to loosen it. I'm going to shoot with her probably next week. So it's just nice for everybody to get to see how we prepare and what we need to do to get that look.
You're sharing your ideas in action. This is sharing it in action right here.
Exactly. And I think also setting a very, Sanrizz, all hairdressing, to be good, you have to have discipline. In anything, to be good at something, you have to have discipline. So, the discipline of presenting today, I want to show you a lovely model, she's got a total look. That's part of the mentoring. If I'm taking somebody through how to do Trend Vision, it's not just about the haircut. The most important thing is the model. It doesn't matter what you do in the haircut to a degree, as long as you have that total aspect of total look. And the hardest thing that I think for anything in hairdressing is to get that total look, because very easily we can tip that balance, or we don't polish it enough. It's that balance of getting that 100% total hair cut, hair color, makeup, clothes, the model, all of those things that are going to get you a winner. And I have to say, you get a winner only a few times in your life. It doesn't happen every time. You've got to really work at it. Sorry, am I getting excited, Charlotte?
Yeah, and it's contagious a little bit. I'm getting excited too.
So here you can see, just loosely, we're getting this curvature, but we're not losing the feeling of the one length. We've still got a very sophisticated geometric shape, which is renowned in Sanrizz, to have this parallel shape, you know, to support the rest of the haircut. I think that's what's very important. How are we doing for time? We're okay.
We're
doing okay. Yeah, we're good. And so here, sorry.
You go, Sharon.
No, I was just showing you here how I control the hair. Yes, so as I've got my finger sculptor, I'm holding the hair at a very good tension. And then with that tension, I'm just loosening and just separating those strands within the hair. And these are something that Sanrizz, we retail these. So if anybody's interested, they can go and, they can go on to info@sanrizz.co.uk. So yeah, we've got these beautiful finger sculptors. We use them in the academy. I mean, Sanrizz, we're more about geometry. Our technique is very Anglo-Saxon, you know, it's sort of beautiful finishes, but with a very precise feel within the geometry of the shape. So these techniques that we're doing now are just to soften, because when you're doing something, 80% of the haircut is in place. What I'm doing is just that 20% that's putting my personality. It's allowing the hair to loosen and become more undone in shape.
It must feel very satisfying getting that weight off.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nice loosening it up so that the head will sit that little bit more, you know, and afterwards I'll carry on and I'll probably do a bit more, but I just thought it's a really lovely thing to show you, because we're all about understanding, for me, the foundation. What better thing to do than a parallel one length? Because, you know, that teaches you good control, good sectioning, good control of the comb and the scissors, and then this double cut of softness around the face. So, you know, Sanrizz teach that we expose the facial features. So you can see here, this length is really working. Actually, I should move her. Beautiful makeup, hey? This is my friend Stephanie. Gorgeous.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Yeah, she's very happily come today. We did a shoot, actually. We made a video on last Monday that's going to go as a digital platform, and all the girls who had the makeup like this. So I thought, oh, it's actually quite nice to share it. Right, so just to finish, I'm just going to loosely just work with the fringe. I'm not going to take too much out. I just, again, want to just individually soften it. Charlotte, sorry, I interrupted you. You had a question.
Oh, I've completely forgotten, Sharon. Don't worry. You carry on.
Okay. So here we're just, you can see how we've got the soft layered shape. And we're just literally just loosening up very gently. I don't want to lose what I've got. I just want to push it into having that little bit of movement. So let's just see what happens when I loosen it and it sits. So I'm able to just get that lovely texture. I'm really enjoying at the moment. A lot of the work that I'm doing is I'm playing with what we call different lengths, dual lengths, and reverse layering. So, you know, we've got a lot of different angles going to keep the softness in the haircut, but you still got that element of strength. Let's come around, one little touch. So I'm not loosening too much around the face because it is quite soft already. Just around the crown. And then I'm going to finish it. What I would do always, I do a lot of dry cutting, especially when I'm doing these shapes. So once I've finished, just do a little bit more through this top area. I'm going to just show you how I've sectioned underneath. So you can see this underneath. So if I show you here, Charlotte, what we've done is, this is where the double cut comes in. So all of this top, we could layer even shorter if we wanted to. And I'm not going to do that now, but we could go very, very short. And then what I've done underneath, I've got this feeling of length. So above the ear, where we've got this beautiful clean section, I just clip that out of the way. If I just loosen this off, I've just wrapped around, and I can undo it. Yeah. And you can see the length is still there. So this is a great technique. You know, you can just use that as a length and go a little bit shorter if we wanted to.
Yeah.
So this is where we call the double cut, because we've got the angles of the two lengths in the side, and then we've got that separation where if you've got a client that's very precious about length, or a model that's precious about length, we can create this dual sort of layering technique by having this feeling of separation through the bottom and then exposure of texture through the top. So I'm going to just take your gown off. And can I get you to stand up? Yeah. So just go center. I'm just going to finish it again with just a tiny bit of bodycraft just to separate that feeling. And
that looks gorgeous, so glossy.
yeah, it's just so nice to give that feeling of, so you've got that flatness that sits into the back. You know, you can even put like a lighter jelly sort of like product in it, or like a softer hairspray, and create separation in these lengths. But I just wanted to show you something that was, you know, just very Sanrizz, important to what we're doing at the moment. Great face, hasn't she? What absolutely a lovely, gorgeous. Yeah, lovely, lovely face. Lovely. Just get a little bit of, excuse my back to you.
While you're finishing off, I'll just recap for listeners the 3 steps that we've covered today that will help boost your hairdressing career. So we can't recommend enough the courses at Wella Studio, particularly the advanced cutting courses that the Sanrizz artists teach, and the importance of face-to-face education. The second step is all about entering competitions and awards, in particular when Wella Trend Vision, and honestly the journey that those gold winners went on the sheet that I was able to get access to was just astounding, and the feedback that they were giving on how it had boosted their careers was just really gorgeous to hear.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. In terms of like their columns as well, the client side of things, not just
love it. Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things they really do. And that's one of the things I say to all our hairdressers, you know, in Sanrizz especially, network yourselves. Hairdressers are so, it takes a certain thing. They're too shy to say, if you like your hair today, please recommend me, you know, and it's given them, they've got such great skill. So to share it and to get themselves out there. And I think that's whether they're competitions, but clients love. As soon as they say, what have you been doing, Sharon? What have you been doing? You know, what are you into? And any competitions and what education? They want to know, because it makes them feel special. I think that's the key.
Yeah. And like they've picked an absolute winner to be their hairdresser. Like
exactly.
Yeah. And then our third point and our third step was the importance of having a great mentor, or indeed mentors. Why not have more than one?
Exactly. And I think we are there. We are there, I believe. So
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I feel
so
like is that too much?
No, lovely. I think that. Yeah, you can move your hands through it, Lua, and you can see the shape. Yeah, just shake it out a little bit. It's always nice, you know, when you do a shoot to get the model to sort of shake it.
Yeah,
that's it. And then shake it at the back. That's it. I'll do it. Don't worry. You can see that beautiful line.
Yeah,
so simple. And then what I love is how it really works with having that support for the face. So you've got the support in here, and then you've got all that lovely just sort of softness that sits at the front.
And it perfectly complements your model's bone structure, and I assume that for each a different model you would work with both shape and perfectly highlight that. Yeah,
exactly. Bone structure is key, and consultation is key, and that's what that beginning is. So yeah. Okay.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for your time today and showing us the demo and giving us your 3 steps. I believe you've got a little something to show us.
Well, it's just if anybody, sorry. Yeah, so just if they want to go look at our Instagram at Sanrizz Academy. If anybody wants any information on courses or finger sculptors or just want some advice on mentoring, I'm really happy to answer that. So if they email info@sanrizz.co.uk, or they message me on Sharon Cox Professional on Insta. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Sharon, for being so generous with your time and offering that kind of opportunity as well.
Lovely girl.
Yeah. And then just a reminder for listeners that we've got the links to booking one-day courses with Sanrizz at the Wella Studios in the link below Facebook, and also on Zoom if you're listening on Zoom. You can contact the studio on 0203 650 4700 or email wellastudiolondon@wella.com. And we'll leave it there, Sharon.
Thank you, Charlotte. I'll just give our model a little turn. Thank you, Alura. Yeah, just have a little spin. Brilliant. That's great. Thank you so much, Charlotte. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope to see you again soon.
Hope to see you in IRL soon. Bye.
Bye.